and welcome to Wisdom Trek. This is Guthrie Chamberlain, and I am your guide to wisdom. This is day 21 of our trek, and today we will consider the expectations of life versus the realities of life. We are recording our podcast from our studios at Home 2 in Charlotte, North Carolina, and although today has been another busy day with various projects, we are thankful that we have the work to do and the skills needed to complete them successfully. This episode will release on Father's Day, the 21st day of June. And I just want to express my admiration and love for my dad, Hal Chamberlain, who is nearly 85 years old and still living and in relatively good health. Dad loves us without condition and has been a good and godly example to all 10 of his kids, our spouses, 40 grandchildren, and at last count, I believe 20 great-grandchildren so far. Thanks, Dad. We love you. Talk about planting and harvesting. Dad planted well and has harvested in abundance. Just as in my personal life, Dad's expectations of life as a young man and the realities of life as he is nearer to the finish line are drastically different. There has been many struggles, hardships, and difficulties that were not anticipated, but there were also blessings in abundance, and the legacy that he and Mom left will impact all of eternity. Even this podcast and journal are a direct result of their impact on me. On our trek today, we want to explore the difference between the expectations and the realities of life. With most mountainous hiking trips, we start out on a trail that is smooth and wide, and we think, wow, this is going to be easy. In the same manner, as we start into adulthood, we know much about life. We feel that we have it all together, that our parents and older associates have just missed the boat somehow. We plan out our lives with dreams and ambitions, and we feel that the road to success will typically be smooth, and then life gets in the way. We get busy living life, and the years just rush by, and before we know it, we are in our 50s and 60s and wonder, what just happened? If you have not reached this point in life yet, realize that it will also happen to you, and be prepared for life's mountains and valleys, its trails with its twists and turns. No matter what age you are now, or what season in life you are in, it's never too late to remember. Enjoy and celebrate life each day, regardless of how rough the path is. This is what makes life worthwhile. And let's look at what the wisest man who ever lived had to say about life. This was King Solomon, who was the king of all Israel from approximately 970 to 931 BC. Towards the latter years of his reign, he wrote the book of Ecclesiastes and saw life from this perspective. In chapter 1, verse 8 and 9, he wrote, "Everything is wearisome beyond description. No matter how much we see, we are never satisfied. No matter how much we hear, we are never content. History merely repeats itself. It has all been done before. Nothing under the sun is truly new." So we see that life is full of unexpected results, and our desires and pursuit is for more stuff. But Solomon also wrote in chapter 2, verses 24 through 26, "So I decided there is nothing better than to enjoy food and drink and to find satisfaction in work. Then I realized that these pleasures are from the hand of God, for who can eat and enjoy anything apart from Him? God gives wisdom, knowledge, and joy to those who please Him." So you see, these are the choices that we need to make in life early and often. Yes, work hard and succeed in whatever you are called to do, but remember to take time to enjoy it. Now, I don't want you to get the wrong impression. I am all for planning and dreaming. I always have many ideas and plans in my head, written down and in some measure of completion. But I also understand that the road to success is rarely smooth. The trails of life are strewn with rocks and obstacles. When we realize this and then plan accordingly, we can set our expectations accordingly. This is one way that we'll grow into wisdom. Learning the art of managing expectations for ourselves and for others is a key element in success and happiness of life. As we look back on the trails of life that we have traversed so far, or look forward to the mountains and valleys that are on our future, realize that this is the stuff that life is made of. We don't need to give up during the difficult times because we have prepared for them, we expect them, and we should desire them, because growth happens when life does not go according to plan. Gail Sheehy put it this way, "If we don't change, we don't grow. If you don't grow, you are not really living. Growth demands a temporary surrender of our security." How we respond to these realities of life is our choice. We can retreat to what appeared to be a relative safe time in life or move forward toward growth. Growth must be chosen over and over each day, and we must overcome fear each day. The difference between the expectations and reality of life can be dramatic. As you grow in wisdom, you come to understand that changing our expectations based on current reality is okay. Be grateful for the journey of life, with all its twists and turns, mountains and valleys, and detours and diversions. We often learn and grow much more from the rocky road than the smooth path. And Christine Hosler said it well when she said, "You gotta wonder why we cling to our expectations when it is the unexpected that truly changes our lives." Regardless of how difficulties and realities of life really are, especially in light of our expectations, we would do well to follow the exhortation of the letter that was written to the Hebrew Christians that were struggling with the realities of life during the 1st century A.D. And this is in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to our life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, and especially the sin that so easily trips us up, and let us run with endurance the race that God has set before us. We do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith. Because of the joy awaiting him, he endured the cross, despising its shame. He is now seated in the place of honor beside God's throne." As the scripture points out, let us encourage and assist each other to deal and embrace the realities of life, and in doing so we will grow in wisdom while we're creating a living legacy. And as we end this podcast today, even if you're not listening on Father's Day, I would encourage you to contact your father if he's still living and thank him for giving you life so that you can impact eternity. And if you are a father or parent, live each day in such a manner that your children, your grandchildren, and generations to come will have a solid foundation for their lives, because each day you are building a positive legacy. Well, that'll finish our podcast for today. Tomorrow we will look at what failure teaches us about success. So please check into our camp tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. As always, I encourage you to leave a discussion topic, comment, suggestion, or question about the podcast on our Contact Us page of the website, or email me at guthrie@venturecg.com. We would love to have the interaction from the members of our Wisdom Trek team. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe on iTunes or the player of your choice, so Wisdom Trek will be downloaded each day automatically. We also have a subscribe to podcast page on wisdom-trek.com. And it's important, if you haven't done so already, to leave us a rating on iTunes or Stitcher. This will help us to know how we're doing and how we can improve. And tell everyone you know to join us on Wisdom Trek. I do thank you so much for this. I have posted several pictures and resources from our trek today, so please check out wisdom-trek.com for our daily journal, wisdom nuggets, and free resources. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly or fully, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy the journey, and to create a great day. See you tomorrow.